Okay, just imagine this for a second. What if you had a financial advisor who was on call for you 24/7?
And this advisor never makes a mistake. Not a single calculation error, ever.
And on top of all that, they can spot market trends way faster than any human ever could. I mean, it's not even close.
Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, it's not. It's actually already here. We're talking about artificial intelligence, and it is completely changing the game in the world of finance. So the big question is this something we should be worried about? A huge disruption? Or is it a massive opportunity? That's exactly what we're going to unpack right now.
All right, so let's start with the basics. Why is AI and finance such a perfect match? Well, it all comes down to one thing: data. Think about it. Finance is just a sea of data, trillions of data points generated every single day. And what does AI love more than anything? Data. It's literally the fuel that makes the AI engine run.
And believe me, AI is already way more involved than you might think. You've got algorithmic trading, where these systems are making millions of trades in the blink of an eye. Then there's real-time risk management. We're not talking about looking at last month's report. We're talking about predicting risk right now. And you know that little text message you get from your bank asking if you just spent money somewhere unusual? Yep, that's an AI spotting weird patterns in your spending almost instantly.
So, here's the key takeaway from all this. It's not really about AI replacing finance. It's more like it's supercharging it. It's giving the entire industry this massive power-up, creating possibilities that just weren't there before. Okay, that's all well and good for the giant banks on Wall Street, right? But what about for the rest of us? How is all this AI stuff actually changing your wallet? Well, it turns out it's already happening, a lot of the time right under our noses.
Well, for one, banking is getting way more personal. You know those chatbots that pop up? They can give you instant answers. Or robo-advisors that can build an investment plan just for you. It also helps bring costs down. I mean, when you automate all the boring paperwork, those savings can actually make their way back to you. And maybe the biggest thing you'll notice is the speed. Getting a loan used to take weeks. Now, it can be approved in minutes, all because an AI can crunch the numbers on risk in a flash.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, it's pretty clear. AI is making finance faster, easier to use, and honestly, more accessible for pretty much everyone.
But you knew there was a but coming, didn't you? With all this amazing speed and convenience, we have to ask, what's the catch? What's the price we pay?
And that brings us to the darker side of this story. Because with all this power, there are some pretty serious dangers that we just can't afford to ignore. Let's dig into these a bit. First up, jobs. Yeah, job displacement is a real thing. If your job involves a lot of routine tasks, like a data analyst or a loan officer, you might be at risk. Then there's the whole garbage in, garbage out problem. If you train an AI on bad or biased data from the past, guess what? It's going to make bad or biased decisions in the future. Think unfairly denying someone a loan. And of course, cybersecurity. The very same AI that's great at protecting a bank can be flipped and used against it by clever hackers.
And this all points to one of the scariest challenges with AI, what people call the black box problem. So picture this. You apply for a mortgage and you get denied. You ask the bank why, and their answer is, we don't actually know. The AI said no. That's the black box. The system is so complicated that even the people who built it can't fully explain why it does what it does. And in an industry like finance, where you need to explain your decisions, that's a huge problem.
So the message here is pretty simple, right? This tech is incredibly powerful, full of promise. But if we just let it run wild without any checks and balances, without transparency, it could cause just as many problems as it solves.
Okay, so where does that leave us? What's next? Well, the future probably isn't going to be the Terminator, but for finance. It's much more likely to be a new kind of team-up, a partnership between humans and AI. And in this new financial team, everyone has their role. The AI gets to do what it's amazing at, crunching insane amounts of data, finding patterns we'd miss, and doing things at lightning speed. And that frees up the humans to focus on what we're good at. Big picture strategy, making the tough judgment calls, and actually talking to people and building trust. That stuff's not going away.
As we look to the future, there are a few things you can pretty much count on. First, the rulebooks are going to have to change. Regulations have to catch up to make sure everything's fair and transparent. We're also going to see a ton more innovation, with small fintech companies using AI to take on the big guys. And for you and me, our finances are going to get even more personal, even more predictive.
So at the end of the day, it really boils down to this one question. When it comes to AI and finance, are we looking at a friend, a foe, or is it just the future? The truth is, it's probably a little bit of all three. And which one it becomes really depends on the choices we make right now.
The people who come out on top here are going to be the ones who adapt, the ones who demand to know what's going on inside that black box, and who make sure this incredible tool is working for us, not against us. The future of finance is literally being written in code as we speak. So the only question left is, are you ready?